watching the Osbournes. I just started it today, actually, and it happened because I was doing Swim. Swim was doing a lady would be like she would watch the yellow sludge come out of her drain, her pipes in like San Francisco, and she'd be like, I just wait for it to clear up for a second, and then I drink it. And she was like an excellent health too, her whole life. And I was like, a lot of people who drink bottled water. And she was like, and then we started bringing up all these cases of people we know who are stringent about drinking bottled water, who have more like fucking problems with their health. And we were like, what if, the elite, I'm not saying this actually ever happened, but if I was some kind of like crazy conspiracy theorist, I might like say like, what if stuff in the bottled water and get rid of the nuts? And like make two bottled water brands like safe, and then be like, hey, like, because you don't want to have to like pass through town and be forced to use the Chipotle bathroom to wash your hands and then get poisoned. So just put it in the bottled water and let everyone know. Just kidding. I don't know if that's really what happened, but we started speculating, and the next thing you know, there was a fire truck going in the distance, and other stories came out. And then we started talking, and she was like, hey, this Ozempic stuff. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, these people look different after they've been on it for a while. And I was like, one of the reasons, in my head, I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'll bet you one of the reasons why is because if you've ever taken either Ozempic or Zepbound even once, or even like for a month, you will find out that your anxiety and your depression lifts. They stop hearing the voices that tell them to eat. Actual anxiety and depression lifts. And so it's almost like a feeling of rebellion, like, you put me through that hell, like, I'm never going to want to talk to you again, like, because you're pissed, you're like bitter over the fucking voices you're hearing, and now the Ozempic took them away, and I'm not making fun. I could see how a person could get hooked to that shit and keep getting skinnier, but I ended up getting berberine and cinnamon because it's like a natural supplement, and it does actually do pretty much the same thing, only it's El Naturale, so it doesn't cause quite all the same things, but it's pretty interesting anyways. So she was like, hey, I love Sharon Osbourne so much, but I feel like there's something going on with her since she's been on Ozempic. And I was like, Sharon Osbourne? No, she said Kelly Osbourne. And I was like, really? I was like, okay, because, knowing me with all my multiple personalities, like, I have a version of me that, of course, I've got an introjective Aussie, but never mind that. Never you mind, don't worry about that. So then I was like, okay, let me go watch this video. And she was crying about her dad. And her mom said she hasn't really been able to eat much since her dad died 5 months ago. And I was like, wow, my mom and my dad both died the last couple of years too, and one of my kids. And what am I going to say? It's like one of those things, like, we're not comparing our pains. It's just like, I get like some of it, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it could go either way. You could eat pounds of chocolate so I was looking at her and I was like, yeah, she does look skinny. She does look skinny. I'm not going to lie. She's looking skinny. But it's not because every woman in the universe is not the most beautiful woman ever, because they always are in all their little, moments. And if they made us look at the way they really look, we'd all just be dead and there'd be no life anyways. So it's like, and so it's like, I mean, everybody goes through these phases. I mean, Ariana Grande looks really pretty, looking a bit anorexic, but that doesn't mean I want to encourage other people to be anorexic. It's just like one of these things, So do obese women look super hot too. I don't know what to tell you. The Queen of the South and all the like Boston, she was pretty big according to she was fucking soft. I was just watching a document about Cleopatra yesterday, and it turns out that like the brother-sister couple is like less than a 25% inbred, but Cleopatra was 45% inbred, which is like the crazy. He was not even inbred as her. Crazy fucking deformities and all this shit. And they were like, he had to have been intellectually stunted. But here, Cleopatra, she had children, so her uterus must have worked. And then she spoke like languages, and she had this little cute chubby face. But never mind you, they say, and maybe it depends on whether you look at the bullion or not. I don't know. And some people like hook noses, but so they were like, oh, Cleopatra somehow miraculously was super insanely inbred, and yet she was one of those fly-by-nights who got the benefits and not the deficits. But the rest of humanity, what's happened to us? Why do I say us? I'm going to tell you the reason why. It's a t-shirt study. They prove that women choose the best genetic mates when they choose mates. They don't even have to see the person, just the smell of their skin, and they're like, oh, this one will produce the most intelligent emotionally and intellectually and longest living children. And but when men choose the mates either by forced marriage or because the women are disassociated because they've been living on a prison planet where women are given some sort of weird, strange thing and they have things happen to them when they're kids and blah, 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 blah. Multi-generational, epigenetic, echoes on the methylation is on methylinization of their fucking epigenetics and whatever. So that women have things going on. And so because they're disassociated, the men choose, and when men choose, the IQ of the children drops generationally as the diligent. It turns out that the more intellectually and stupid, the more generations their father chose the mates. And they found something else about men. They tested them and they said men choose women as mates when men choose the mates. They choose women as mates who have the most genetic similarities to them. Like they're not looking for a relative, but subconsciously they actually look for women who carry the same markers as a genetic relative. And so their children, all patriarchal unions, when done multi-generationally, heap deleterious mutations and produce what we consider to be the effects of some sort of inbreeding, even if you're not actually inbred. Because at a certain point, if you do paternal choice for fucking thousands of years, you're all as related as like siblings or more. Like you're too related with too many deleterious mutations stacked. So what happens is the more it happens, the more it happens. Okay, I'm not saying they're really not that right. I'm just saying they appear not that right because people like to refer to them as non-player characters because they have the short end of the deleterious mutation stick. But who knows? If you believe in a multi-generational or a multi-dimensional universe, for all you know, they're crawling on all fours, barking like a dog, and this one having the time of their life, and they're a fucking super genius, and the other one having the time of their life, and they wanted to experience being fucking one way and the other at the same time. I don't know what they're doing. These are not cupcakes. Okay. Anyways, interview, I decided I'm going to go watch the Osbournes for a while. Oh, I was telling her, but I won't tell you guys what I told her in my head. Well, I told Osbourne's daughter in my head, I was like, hey, look, people think you look like him, and so it's sort of like Elvis Presley's daughter. People get like all like, oh, and then when the face looks just like him, especially because the fat, and all men like fat in the face, it's like they're like, oh. And then, of course, they're going to be like that. But it's, it's because your dad was like, I do everything for them, and so they consider you to be theirs instead of really like your own in some ways. What are you going to do, So Ozzy, I listened to this interview, so then I'm popping around, I find another interview with Ozzy, and he's like, hey, you know what? I do everything for everyone else. And I was like, I heard that in one of your last albums, too. I heard that. It sounded like a mix of, like, one of the albums he put out right before he went. It sounded like the ELO album with Mr. Blue Sky on it and a whole bunch of other stuff like Breakfast in America. And, like, he literally mixed it up. And if you listen to it, you can hear the songs go through, like, a whole bunch of different songs, and it's like I did everything for you, right? That's the lyrics. And I was just talking to my therapist about that because I have an introjective Ozzy. I call him, sometimes he goes by the name Grandpa Icicle, and we were discussing that, and then I was having another discussion with him about it, like a philosophical one where we were like, what does that even mean? How do you know everybody's not doing that? Every single person, you know what I mean? And then maybe they're not, or maybe it's just all win-win, and who knows? Even if you do something completely selfish, does it end up being for them anyways? And I don't know. Maybe it's just because you like to do things that way. All right. That's it.